Welcome back to Black Man's Log Reviews. If you're new here, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and comment below what you'd like to see me review next. With that out the way, let's get into the video. SIGNALIS is fantastic. The modern gaming world is chock full of 3D horror games with a wide range and variety. Alien Isolation is a horror shooter with a near-invincible AI chasing you around. Outlast is a found footage type of game where you are truly defenseless against your foes. SIGNALIS goes the retro route in all phases in this 10-hour romp. A bird's eye view, room-to-room puzzle game makes up the majority of the gameplay. SIGNALIS is Resident Evil with some cyberpunk feeling UI. SIGNALIS' retro feeling is truly emphasized by its setting, a dystopian future amongst the stars. The futuristic tech feels reminiscent of the Alien film series. It feels like what the space race should have turned into. What you get with SIGNALIS isn't a jaw-dropping, pee-your-pants horror game. SIGNALIS doesn't have jump scares or grotesque death sequences. Outside of a few blood-curdling screams, fleshy masses reminiscent of Scorn, and deadly androids looking to kill you, SIGNALIS operates more as a thriller game than a horror one, but the elements are clearly there. SIGNALIS is formally listed as a survival horror game, but truly it's a puzzle game. The advancement of the plot doesn't happen without it. Those genres are emphasized by SIGNALIS' lack of direction and primary exposition. SIGNALIS has no narrator. There are few markers directing you where to go. SIGNALIS will invite you to explore its dilapidated hallways. Moving from room to room, you'll find dead replicas, the game's version of androids, strewn about. Documents such as manuals, books, or letters act as tutorials, exposition, and world building as you fumble through the darkness. Your best guide through the game, truly your best friend, is your menu screen. It shows your inventory, your physical and mental health status, a radio, and a copy of all the documents you've come across. The radio is a key element to the game and is used throughout many puzzles that you'll come across. Radio signals appear to hint at the title of the game itself, a term that won't specifically be described. Information is the primary currency in SIGNALIS. There aren't stores to buy health items, weapons, or key items to advance the plot. That advancement, your life truthfully, is dependent on the absorption of knowledge. Being able to call back on subtle images or keywords in a poster, solving a riddle in a poem, monitoring the orbits of planets, all to solve the many puzzles SIGNALIS throws at you. Puzzles aren't the enemy though. Truthfully, upon solving them, it's the most pleasurable thing about this game outside of its aesthetic. Replicas appearing to be suffering from some sort of mutation traverse the hallways attempting to kill you. The weakest one carry cleavers attempting to hack at you, but as you go deeper into the world of SIGNALIS, the difficulty increases. Stronger enemies arise in different combinations room to room. Similar to the Resident Evil series, ammo can be hard to come by. Picking and choosing your battles are a must, especially when a point-blank face full of buckshot doesn't kill whatever you're aiming at. SIGNALIS is fairly new, so I will keep this review short and as spoiler-free as possible. SIGNALIS is a trippy journey through colonized space. You take control of a replica named Elster, apparently on a journey to find your partner who has gone missing after a previous crash landing. This journey will lead to many overlapping plot lines as you dive into the depths of a mining facility, attempting to find answers not only about your missing partner, but the mutation affecting the facility. Ultimately, the story of SIGNALIS is a tragedy from beginning to end, unrelenting always. It's why the game tells you every single time that you boot it up that some parts of this game may be considered cruel. SIGNALIS is a dark and depressing 8 to 10 hour romp that will absolutely intrigue you with its story and world building. The combat element may frustrate you. What it lacks in cutting-edge 2.5 dimensional combat, it makes up for in its vexing survival horror puzzle solving. There were so many times I entered into a room to solve a puzzle, limping from injuries as my replica's blood pooled on the floor, out of ammo and with no plan on how to make it past the variety of enemies blocking my way to the next exit. The game is addicting. When you first boot it up, you might not be impressed with the art style or its graphics, which appear to be going for a contemporary pixelated horror kind of feel, but it will gnaw at you. begging you to turn it back on to discover what additional mysteries await to be solved, what additional puzzles await to be solved, and why. Unlike other shooters, SIGNALIS will never convince you that your problems can be solved at the end of a barrel of a gun. If anything, SIGNALIS shows you the lack of control you have in the situation, whether that's watching the literal walls degrade around you from dystopian tech into masses of flesh, or contemplating how 3 bullets are going to get you past 4 murderous androids. If you have the stomach for it, SIGNALIS is for those who love classic horror games, and for those looking for something that will stand out in their winter gaming catalog this year. Available on all platforms, kudos to the 2-man studio of Rose Engine for putting out an absolute instant classic. Thanks for joining me on Black Man's Log. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next review.